Hi there, welcome back to my channel. It is Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Scorpio, if you don't know your Moon and Rising by now, it is linked in the description box below where you can find out your whole birth chart. That way, for additional information, you can check out your Moon and Rising sign in addition to your Sun sign reading. This is for the week of June 27th to July 4th. And I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for the main spread, and then drawing additional message cards from the Medicine Card Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot as always. I'm going to be asking a little bit of a different question this week as opposed to general messages for your sign. I'll be asking, what does your sign need to know for the week? And I've been doing this now for the last couple, Aries through to Pisces through the week, and I'm really digging it. I'm really liking what kind of cards and sort of advice is coming up for asking you different questions. So let's see how this pans out for you. Let me know in the comments below if you have a moment. Let me know how this works out for you this week and how this resonated with you. So again, 3 card spread with the bottom of the deck for general energy. It is a general reading for your sign. So whatever is most prominent for you this week, Scorpio, I'll encourage you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So Scorpio, I wish for you all success, joy, and wellness. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. And I call upon Gaia to please bless this reading for Scorpio. So what does Scorpio need to know? I got these. They came up 3. If you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I usually take 1 jumper, but I've been experimenting and I find that if these are coming up and they're all out there, I'm going to take them. I've been doing this with personal readings and I've been doing them for my own, and I find that they really are extremely strong and helpful. In the past, I just didn't think that if I'm asking for 1 jumper and more than 1 came out, I would normally put them all back. So if it's clumpy or wonky, I won't, but if they're all really plain and right there, I will. Okay, so that being said, here are your 3 cards, and then we have the bottom of the deck energy. So the main cards in the central spread here are the cards Here and Now, Why, and Fork in the Road. So some of the main terms around these cards, for example, are being in the present, motives, and decision making. So this looks like you're ready to make a pretty profound decision for yourself. You're just looking for your own motivations behind something. So what do you need to know? In order to make this decision, you need to sit still in the present. You need to make this decision for yourself. You have the answer within. No one can tell you what to do, and stop getting distracted because I'll show you why I say that in a moment. And then with the Y card over here, the Y card's main terminology is motivation. What motivates you to do, be, say, etc. And to formulate these decisions and habits and practices for yourself. And then with the bottom of the deck, energy to the sea is literally going with the flow. Now, for the first time ever, I might be saying this, but going with the flow this week, Scorpio, could be what's distracting you. Could actually be the distraction. And normally I would say, yeah, totally go with the flow. And not that you have to get hyper and upset about it, that you're not going to go with the flow this week, or the advice is not to go with the flow, or going with the flow could lead you to a place of not being able to get this decision or sitting in the moment. But being present, these are almost at odds, right? Again, not that one is better or more calming or etc. than the other. It's just that if there's a decision to be made here, going with the flow is the opposite of making a decision. So what do you need to know? This isn't working for you this week. You can do this in other areas of your life. Go with the flow with every other area that isn't involved in this large decision making here, okay? Because we have tons of things going on in our everyday lives. But whatever's prominent for you, like I said at the start, whatever's prominent around a decision or what do you need to know, you instinctively know what that meant when I spoke those words. So with regard to that one particular issue, this is what it's advising against. You can't keep going with the flow with this one thing. Do it in every other area of your life, because will get you through this week. But when a decision needs to be made, for you to sit in the present, for you to be aware in the present and not in the past, and not getting distracted and not contemplating the future, these, like I said, these are opposites. So what do you need to know in order to make that decision and learn your motivations around that question or query? It's time to be present, be here in the now. So let's look at some of the graphics here. This young woman is sitting sort of cross-legged on one of the world's most universal symbols for fertility. You can see the window is embedded, and what lay beyond that? Only you know. What lay inside of that sense of fertility for yourself? That meaning, that what is yet to be born can only come about after you've contemplated it. And you'll notice here on either side, we've got the past and the future, and she's really literally in the center, and her flag says, "You are here." There's also so many hearts around her. She's surrounded by love. She's living in love. She's guided by love. But here's the trick. When we are distracted by the past or we are distracted by the future, it's next to impossible to be in the present moment. And I will say this for no matter what sign with this card. The present moment is where the magic happens, Scorpio. This is really all we have. Like right now, right now, right now is all we have. And I do consider that we can time travel. Humans, they go, "Oh, we're going to build a time travel machine." We have it. It's called our brain, right? You time travel all the time. We think of the past all the time. Why do you want to travel to those places? Unless they're beautiful, decent, loving, and emboldened, lighthearted memories, why would you want to visit a terrible place? Okay, don't do that if you can avoid that. You don't want to time travel to those places, and alternately, this can lead us to depression. And similarly, the future. We can time travel to the future. We can imagine all sorts of things, especially as a water sign. Some of the greatest imaginative minds in history are water signs because of your deep level of understanding and imaginative power. But you can imagine yourself into states of anxiety because ultimately so many outcomes can occur if we imagine something. But if we focus on something, right? If we plan and focus and we're here in the moment, this is what matters. Because you are going to be able to impact this future without being anxious by being here right now, right now, right now. Okay, Scorpio? And with the why, like I said, this is just pure motivation. The big question behind why you do or don't do or say, etc., certain things, right? In terms of, let's look at this for example. Well, going with the flow really works most of the time, right? You don't get upset, you don't think it too much. You're kind of just going with the flow, but you're not in the present. Something's guiding you. Something. It could be your past, could be your future, it could be someone who's distracting you, or something, right? But this isn't magic. This isn't. The magic doesn't happen here going with the flow. Whose flow? Your flow. This is you. So again, with the motivation here, what is motivating in terms of what do you need to know? What is motivating you from or to this being in the present, being in the here and now? Are you like all of us who are on the precipice of success? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of failure? They are kind of one and the same sometimes. In order to succeed at something, we have to let something else go, and vice versa. And there is never a lesson lost. If you can look at it that way, if you're about to make a big decision, you think it's for the best, it's everything you've ever wanted, and then you find in X amount of time, it's not exactly the way you wanted it, or it didn't fulfill everything you wanted it to, or it's just the opposite of what you wanted. Now you have to try something again, and you think, "Oh, what a waste of time," or "I didn't learn." And we see this for relationships too. The beautiful thing about it is that you can shift your perspective. You can perceive it differently, where there is no loss, there's no wrong answer, there's no bad relationship, there is only a lesson. And here's where it is. Why do you do certain things? Why don't you do certain things? And what is the lesson in that? Is it about, well, I want to stay in the past. I'm addicted to thinking about the future. I can't handle being in the moment. There's too much. I don't want to face that. What are your motives? Okay, Scorpio? What are your motives for what you're doing and what you're avoiding, and even why, for example, you'd be going with the flow so often when you have so much personal power and so many goals to achieve, even if they're one by one and they're like, you know, you have a 20-year plan, and good on you. It's probably the best way to go about plans. Is not to, you know, sort of condense them into small areas of time. You're thinking big here, and why not? But I think the secret might be in what is motivating you to be in the here and now. And once you are in the here and now, what is driving you to create this new world for yourself, this new life for yourself, these outcomes, whatever you want, okay? And one of the funnest cards in the whole deck, and it's just an extremely powerful, expressive card, is the fork in the road. This is strictly decision making, okay, Scorpio? But there are a few iconic images here that I want you to pay attention to just to sort of contemplate this week. We have the owl here on the back of the animal that's going to get you there, okay? This is going to be your companion. And on the back of your companion is the owl. The owls, some of the main keywords around owl are psychic energy, wisdom, knowledge, moon time, females, femininity, women, cycles, okay, and anything that you have to bring to that iconic imagery. If you have an intuitive reaction to owls, for example, let that play a part in your week this week. And then with the actual fork in the road, signs are pointing everywhere. There are lots of decisions here, but guess who's in charge of those arrows? This little rhesus monkey with a mask on. And when we think of masks and we think of monkeys, we think of jesters, right? Somebody's wearing a mask. They're keeping something from you. They're trying to make you laugh. It's not a terrible thing. Maybe they're not even trying to trip you up, but it is a distraction. And then the monkey itself as a universal symbol is the jokester. It's the trickster. It's the court jester. It's going to be creating all sorts of lights and fanciful things for you. And these might even be in your life right now, and they're very comfortable, and you're really comfortable with it. Hey, it's really great. I don't want to change this. This is fun. Well, what do you really want? Do you want that all the time? Do you want someone else being the court jester and guiding you to this fun that may not be meaningful for you or may not bring you to your personal highest good? You are here. You're right center of everything. And you have the answer. I honestly believe that the owl would never appear, that the owl wouldn't be appearing in your sign, in your spread rather, if you didn't already have the answer. And I say that because I truly believe that any human being who can formulate or articulate a question already has the answer. And I really believe that. I think by the time you articulate a question for yourself, right, on your own, and you've done some soul searching for it, you already have the answer. Are you going to like it? It's a different question. Are you going to act on it? Totally different question. But do you have the answer? Absolutely. So one of the last cards in the spread is the dragonfly. Its keyword is illusion. So I just want to double check here. I'm pretty sure it's illusion. Let me just double check. Forgive me here. I have no pride in doing this. Yes, it is illusion. So what are you avoiding? That's all that this is doing. Perhaps going with the flow has been happening for too long, and now you're like, I'm not digging this. I'm not digging this. I'm right in the here and now. Going with the flow isn't working for me anymore. My motives don't even play a part of my life anymore. Who is in charge? Who's in charge? And if you're feeling frustrated because of that, it's time to stop going with the flow. It's time to stop living in illusion and wrap your head around the present moment. Okay, Scorpio? Because again, this is really, truly all we ever have. And then we have 2 jumpers. I will take these. We have music and new love. New love isn't necessarily romance. It could be a new love that you've discovered for yourself, right? Here in the now. Well, oh, I really love this is what I've always loved to do. I'm going to make a decision to do it, despite what other people think or how happy it makes them or if it makes them comfortable or if it's been going with the flow to make other people comfortable. Or it could be another person and very romantic. And either way, it's really lovely to have a new love. It's like a new awareness. Anytime you have new beginning, new love, etc. It's all about an awareness, okay? And then with the music card here is always beautiful to see because we can be inspired through music, or if you yourself are a musician, you can inspire others through this as well. But remember this week, if you do require inspiration in particular, turn to who inspires you on a really deep present level with regard to your highest motivations, your highest calling. Not something, for example, that worked for you in the past. Oh, this made me feel better in the past. Not something that you can picture in the future for yourself. I might be interested in this because someone else is. Not that at all. Something that works for you right here and right now in this moment of motivation. Okay? It's also the universal language. It's the language by which you don't even need to speak the same dialect, and young and old this can appeal to. So it's kind of like universality here. Um, and it could be that the new love is the music. Maybe you have a newfound love for a certain type of music, or it's bringing you inspiration, and that's where you need to be right now. So, Scorpio, let me know if you have a moment how this works out for you this week. And make sure you subscribe. I upload videos for your signs every week. And that concludes your reading. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.